Most people think that all AirPods are exactly the same, and in this video I'm going to explain why they are actually very different. Today I'm comparing the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation, the Apple AirPods 3rd generation, and something most people forget exists, the wired USB-C AirPods. And surprisingly, one of these might actually be the best option for you. Each one has strengths and some surprising weaknesses. Let's start with the one nobody talks about. And frankly, I didn't even know that these existed. The Apple AirPods with the USB-C connection. These are completely wired, which sounds old school, but there are actually a few advantages. First, you never have to worry about battery life. You just plug them in and they work. They also have a simple controller on the cable for volume and playback, which is super convenient. My partner actually prefers using the wired version, especially when she's at work. The cable visually signals to people around her that she might be listening to something or on a call, whereas with the wireless earbuds, people often can't tell. So they might start talking to you and they don't know that you can't hear them. Another benefit is there's no Bluetooth connection, which some people prefer because it eliminates EMFs entirely, as well as connection issues. But there are some downsides. One of the most obvious downsides is you have to deal with the cable, which can get caught or tangled and is much bulkier. Unlike the wireless options, these don't give you features like noise canceling, automatic switching, or wireless convenience. Still, if you just want simple, reliable audio, they're actually a really underrated option, especially for the value of $20. Next up are the Apple AirPods, the 3rd generation. These are kind of the middle ground in Apple's lineup compared to older AirPods. Apple improved a few things. The stem is shorter, the sound quality is noticeably better, and the case supports MagSafe charging. I believe this option also, you can have it without MagSafe charging. They also include microphones for calls, which work pretty well most of the time. Battery life is solid, and overall, they feel like a big upgrade from older AirPods. I did, however, run into some issues. The biggest one for me was the fit. For some reason, these started hurting my ears after longer use, and they didn't stay put. They didn't stay securely in my ears like the Pros do, or like even older generations would for me. Since they don't have the silicone tips like the Pro version, the fit really depends on your ear shape. I also noticed Bluetooth connectivity with my computer was very spotty, where they would connect and disconnect and just not allow me to connect randomly on my work computer. It's a Dell laptop, but with the Bluetooth being improved year by year on not just computers, but also the AirPods themselves, I thought this would be a better alternative to an older version. I was running the 1st generation AirPods for the longest time. And when I upgraded, they just wouldn't connect to my computer. It was so frustrating. Another issue that can be seen with the Bluetooth of these ones, and I believe other generations as well, is sometimes they'll randomly connect. So let's say that you are in the other room and on a call, and you're just using your phone speaker. There's been times where my partner and I have had it connect just randomly, where we're just talking normal, and then we just can't hear each other on the phone call. And we're like, what is going on? Just to find out that the Bluetooth connected on one of our devices. The microphones work well indoors, but when you're outside in windy conditions, call quality can really suffer. So while these are a nice improvement over older AirPods, they weren't the most comfortable or the best option for me. Currently, you can find the AirPod 3rd generation for about $50. So this makes it kind of the middle ground of cost. Finally, we have the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation. And honestly, these are on another level compared to the other two. The first big difference is the silicone tips. The way that they fit in your ear, the way that they feel, the texture, the noise cancellation, it is just excellent. I can wear these for hours without pain or pressure, which has been a huge improvement over the 3rd generation AirPods, as well as the wired ones, in my opinion. The sound quality is significantly better with deeper bass and clearer detail. You also get features like active noise canceling, transparency mode, MagSafe charging, and a really solid microphone quality for calls or recording. I've even used this microphone specifically for YouTube recordings, and I feel like it actually sounds surprisingly good. The most advanced and the best sounding option out of these three. The costs for these ones right now are going for about $200 as well. And with trade-in values, which is always better than throwing out old technology, you can get it a little cheaper as well from Best Buy. So which one should you actually get? Here's a simple breakdown. If you want something cheaper, reliable, and simple, the USB-C AirPods, even in 2026, are still a great option. If you want wireless earbuds but don't care about noise canceling, you can look at something like the 3rd gen, or you can also start looking at the 4th gen. If you want the best sound quality, best comfort, and the most features, the AirPods Pro 2 are easily the winner for me out of these three. They're the ones I personally reach for and use on a daily basis. I'm curious, which AirPods do you use? Do you have AirPods? Do you use other earbuds? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy simple, minimalist tech reviews like this, subscribe for more. Something I really want to highlight is the importance of being intentional with our purchases. Not everyone needs an AirPod, not everyone needs necessarily an earbud, and I understand that this is a want for sure. It may not be a need. Now, in some circumstances, it may be a need for phone calls or listening to meetings, things like that. If you're traveling a lot on a bus or going to the gym and you want to listen to some music, or going on a nice walk and listening to a podcast or an Audible, or watching a YouTube video. These are great ways to use AirPods and earbuds, and I think it's important. I know that all three of these AirPods are not the newest and greatest, where there's newer versions of all of these except for the wired ones. And it's okay to not immediately upgrade to the newest, best because X, Y, or Z. So I just want to pop that little reminder in there that it's okay to use what works and not feeling like you just always have to get the newest upgrade, the newest tech.